Okay, next we want to send things to Christian Morgan. He is with Randolph Electric Membership Corporation, and he is joining us on the phone right now. Christian, hey, do you have us?
Hey, how are you guys?
Hi, doing well. Thanks so much for your time here tonight. Give us your view. We're a few, maybe 2-3 hours into things starting to fall. What are you guys seeing where you are, and what are you anticipating as a significant utility for folks out there in the overnight hours?
Sure. Well, this evening really isn't too much a problem for us down in the Asheboro area, and then even a little further south. We have a lot of our members that live in the Montgomery County and Moore County area. So as long as we keep this as sleet, then we are actually in pretty good shape, because that sleet easily bounces off power lines, it bounces off poles, bounces off trees, and that sort of thing. But once we see that transition to freezing rain, that's where we really start to put our guard up even a little bit more. You know, the forecast the last couple of days have been calling for, at least in our area, anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch of ice. And where we really start to see those problems is around 1/4 of an inch. That's kind of like the magic number. And to put that into perspective for you, that amount of ice, just 1/4 of an inch, can weigh down a power line by about 500 pounds.
Yeah, Christian, that's the same thing we're concerned about here in the Triad. We've been talking about that for much of the evening. You mentioned some of the areas that you serve, Randolph, the folks in Asheboro, Alamance, parts of Chatham, Montgomery, and Moore counties. What systems do you have in place for folks out there if they do lose power?
Sure. Well, the whole week we've been staging and kind of bringing in not only our internal crews but external crews from other areas to kind of stage and set up and be on standby. So we have them on standby, not just at our office in Asheboro and office in Robbins, but other areas as well, ready to respond. And if that transition to freezing rain doesn't really start until overnight and tomorrow morning, I expect it's probably around lunchtime, early afternoon before we start to see any kind of outages or anything in that situation. But we are standing by, ready to do it, just telling folks, hey, if you can, keep your homes as warm as you can, keep those devices charged up, and if you are somebody who relies on electricity for medical devices or for medicine, just know that you're on our priority list, and if we're able to access those areas first, then we will. If we get into an extended outage, multi-day outage kind of situation, we may just not be able to do that. But we are standing by. We're ready to go. We have 150 internal employees in the office, and then we have all those external crews as well that we brought in throughout the week.
Christian, what sort of protocols do you guys have in place for making sure that it is safe and prudent for your teams to get out and start restoring power? Because obviously people want their electricity and they certainly want their heat back on, but you guys want your own employees to be safe too.
Oh, absolutely. I have a lot of respect for those guys that are climbing poles and that are working in this kind of weather, and especially when it gets dark. That adds one element of danger to it. Then you add on the fact that we're talking about freezing rain and ice, and a lot of our line is actually in rural areas and in woods. So one thing that we preventively do on a day-to-day basis, and then have really kind of ramped that up this week, is doing a lot of right-of-way clearing. So that's going down our lines, trimming back trees that are leaning over lines, maybe clearing out trees that look dead to us or that do pose a threat of falling onto the line. So that not necessarily will keep the power on. It does help, but the more important thing that it does is help us to get that power on quicker if it does go out. It allows for easier access. It allows for safer access for our crews. I've been around and heard stories. Hey, you're out working in the middle of the night in an icy situation, and you can hear trees cracking around you. So that's unnerving to me, working on the office side of things, but I can't imagine what it's like for those guys out there. So I have a lot of respect for that. So we do that to help as far as safety goes, and then we have a ton of safety protocols and honestly a lot of new technology that helps keep our folks safe and tries to keep them out of harm's way as much as we can.
Christian, you talk about keeping your team safe. Let's talk for a moment about safety tips for residents out there. You mentioned those rural areas where a lot of those power lines are above ground, so there's a greater danger, of course. What can you tell them as this storm gets ready to hit and the days after the storm, because they tend to be so dangerous?
Oh, absolutely. So, if you lose power at your home, the easiest thing I can tell you is there's no need to panic. But if you have preps in place and you have a plan for your family, things to keep you safe, things to keep you warm, go ahead and put those into action. Now, if you are using a generator, every time we get into a winter situation, there's always stories about folks being injured or possibly losing their lives because of using generators in the improper way. So if you have a generator and your home is properly wired for that, you're good to go. If it's not and you're still using one, make sure it's about 20 to 30 feet away from your home. Make sure it's away from windows. Make sure it's not in the garage. Make sure the exhaust is blowing away from the home. Those are some key things really that'll keep you safe in the event of a generator. And know what your generator is rated for. Do not overpower your generator. Don't plug more into it than what it's rated for. That's a really good safety tip as well. And then if you lose power and you happen to have a tree or you happen to have a power line down around your home, do not approach that line. We always say to stay about 30 to 40 feet away from a power line, because even if it's not buzzing, even if it's not sparking, it can still be live and it can still be dangerous. So same kind of scenario there. Never approach a down power line. Know that our crews have seen it. We get reports on it, whether that's folks calling in to report it, whether that's reporting it on our website. And then we have technology that really tells us where that could be, that issue could be, and how our crews can access that. So never approach that line, and we know that it's there. We're going to be getting to it as quickly as we can. So just stay away from all the things that are unsafe, and make sure you're practicing safe tips to stay warm inside your home.
A lot of good advice there, Christian. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time, and very best to you and your folks as they go out and do the really hard but important work here over the next, 24 to maybe 72 hours and beyond.
Oh, and wishing safety and praying for all of you guys as well. Appreciate what you do too.
Thank you, Christian.